Hi everyone, welcome to the part 1 of this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made desserts and cake for my son's 5th birthday party, and the rest of the snacks I'm going to cover in the next video. So today you're going to see my son's 5th birthday party construction themed cake, a dessert that I've made from different Indian desserts, and a savory sandwich cake. So let's begin with the cake. I prepared chocolate ganache 2 days before I was supposed to bake the cake. I added 2 parts chocolate chips and 1 part cream, microwaved it for a few seconds and then kept folding it until it became glossy and chocolatey and like a thick chocolate syrup. Then I covered it with a saran wrap and kept it on the counter. You can keep it in the fridge, and I was done with the ganache. I'm making a black forest cake, and since I do not like to use canned fruits, so I make my own syrup from fresh fruits. This is the cherry. I've added a little sugar and water, and I just sugared a little bit, covered it, and kept it in the fridge. I'm making a number 5 cake, so I'm going to make a stencil. I have cut chart paper into number 5, so I'm going to use that to cut my cake. I could have done without this, but this ensures that I have a symmetrical cake and the cake doesn't look a little shooky, awry or lopsided. So here I have the number 5 ready. Now coming to baking the cake. I baked the cake by adding egg yolks to the cake batter and by beating egg white separately and then mixing it with the cake batter. This ensures the cake is spongy and absorbs all the syrup. And I put the cake batter in 2 pans, a round pan and a square pan. I use the same pans for making the stencil for my cake. And now my cakes are ready. They are very spongy, flat tops, and the toothpick comes clean. Since my cake is ready, it's time to cut the cake into the shape of 5. I have cut different layers so I can stack one on top of other. My cream is ready. I've used whipping cream, icing sugar, and beat it until I get stiff peaks. Now it's time to stack the cakes. Since I'm making a construction cake, so I'm not using a buttercream or any other cream. I try to make it look like a muddy, dirty cake, so I'm using chocolate ganache. After frosting the cake, I kept it overnight in the fridge, and now I'm just going to decorate it with the leftover cake that I'm going to show as mud or the construction dirt. I've used my son's cars and construction trucks and excavators. I am going to show a little grass on top of this cake by using a grass tip. I quickly prepared the buttercream for this and used a green edible color, and that's how I made the construction cake. Coming to the dessert, this is an assorted dessert, and I've used a lot of Indian sweets to make just this one little glass of dessert. I have made condensed milk first, or Rabdi. For this I boiled milk. I added sugar, cardamom powder, saffron strands until my milk reduced to half, and this is how it's going to look. It's thick, and then I'm going to strain it and store it in the fridge. It's going to thicken when I cool it down. I'm going to save the malai or the cream for later. A part of my dessert includes rasmalai, so I've made fresh cottage cheese. I'm going to knead it until it's soft and smooth. In the meantime, I have my sugar water ready. I've added 1 part of sugar and 4 parts of water. Now I'm going to make the rasmalai from the cottage cheese dough. After keeping all the balls ready, I'm going to dip it into the sugar syrup that I've made. I'm going to put 3 to 4 at a time because I don't want them to be congested. Once ready, I'm going to take it out and dip it into lukewarm or water that is at room temperature. Once my rasmalai is done, I'm moving on to making kalakand. For kalakand, I'm going to make 4 flavors. So I'm making strawberry kalakand. For that, I have made a strawberry puree and some of the chena or cottage cheese that was left over. I added into the pan. I've added strawberry syrup, elaichi or cardamom powder, a little bit of condensed milk or rabdi that I had prepared. I'm going to boil it till everything, all the moisture is reduced. And once it's done, I'm going to add very little bit of beetroot juice to make it look like a vibrant red color. And then I'm going to mold it into a parchment paper and store it in the fridge. For mango kalakand, I made fresh mango puree. I've added chena or cottage cheese, some pistachios, and some condensed milk or rabdi. I'm going to boil it until all the moisture is gone, and I'm going to do the same with it. I'm going to put it into the parchment paper and keep it in the fridge. For chocolate kalakand, I've added Rabdi cottage cheese and some chocolate ganache from my cake. I've added walnuts, cranberries and raisins to it. This really tastes good because it has that dark chocolate flavor and that sweet flavor from condensed milk. An amazing texture. Now I'm going to make just plain rabdi. Remember the malai that I had saved after straining the rabdi or condensed milk? I'm going to add that and condensed milk into the chena and a little bit of sugar. You can skip it and wait till all the moisture is reduced. And once everything is dried up, again mold it, put it into the parchment paper, refrigerate it, and your 4 kinds of flavored kalakand is ready. The third part of my dessert is mango syrup, so I'm going to make it at home. Now I have all the Indian sweets ready to make an assorted dessert for myself. I'm going to take a small glass, you can take a big one. I'm going to put 1 rasmalai, some strawberry kalakand, some rabdi or condensed milk on top of it. I'm going to add few pistachios, another rasmalai. If you have a bigger glass, you can put a lot of rasmalai. Then I'm going to put mango kalakand and the whipped cream that I have saved from the cake. I'm going to put some chocolate kalakand on top of it, some nuts, pistachios and mango syrup. And here's my assorted Rabdi kalakand malai. You can totally customize this dessert according to your taste and preferences. I also made a fruit cake that was a last minute request from my husband, so I couldn't shoot it. It's a basic vanilla sponge cake. Moving on to savory bread sandwich cake. It's very easy to make and just takes one-time effort, and this cake serves at least 10 people. So you don't have to worry about making separate sandwiches for everyone in your family or your guests. Let's see how we make it. I added equal amount of all-purpose flour to 2 bowls. I added yeast. To 1 bowl I added garlic powder, cheese, salt, and I kneaded the dough with spinach puree so I get a green tinge for the bread. Make sure that you knead it into a very soft dough because we want to make sure that our bread is extremely soft and spongy. Once my dough is ready, I'm going to bake it for 30 to 40 minutes until I get an amazing bread. To make the other bread, I have added beetroot puree that I made by boiling beetroots and then mashing it. I'm adding this puree to the dough with a little bit of salt, and again this has to be a sticky dough, and to knead it well I'm using some oil, and once it's ready I'm going to bake it for 30 to 40 minutes. After my both breads are ready, I'm going to move on to the savory frosting. I added cream cheese, some whipping cream, and I beat it till I got stiff peaks. And then I added herbs of my choice. You can customize it according to your taste buds and preferences. I've added black pepper, some chili flakes, and I've also added some dhania and chili pepper chutney. Now I've cut the bread into two halves, each bread into two halves, and now I'm going to stack each half, one on top of other alternatively. I'm going to put on the cream cheese frosting, and then I'd cut some salad for the cake. So here's the thing, I tried to make it look pretty, which I don't know if it was, but I have stacked a beetroot bread at the bottom, I have stacked a spinach bread on top of it, a beetroot bread on top of spinach bread, and the spinach bread on the top. So I made alternative layers of these two colors. And finally I'm going to frost the whole bread sandwich cake just like I frost a cake. And I just garnished it with a tomato rose and 2 basil leaves. And life is really good when your bread is soft and spongy and you enjoy it with your dhania chutney. That was all in today's video, and I'm going to see you next Wednesday to complete the birthday party lockdown menu for part 2, and I'll be ready with some more snack ideas for you guys. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And if you want me to share a recipe in detail, please do mention in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you Wednesday.